Hello, everybody, and happy Tuesday, and welcome to another episode of Brian's Basement. I'm Brian, this is my basement, and today we have a very special guest, and I'm very excited to get back to the interview format after 3 weeks of nonsense. I'm very excited to talk to our guests, have a chat, have a beer, play some music, talk about songs, all the things that I love. But before we introduce our guest, I'm going to play a song of my own. This is a song that I've been thinking a lot about some of my older songs, and there's not many older songs that I don't really like or believe in anymore. But there is one line in the song. It's in the your job will suck and your friends will all leave town. And I think at the time that was true. And now, my job still does suck. But with this whole show, I've realized, I've got so many friends that I've made since that time of writing this song, and that are in town, and so that's the one line maybe I think that I'm kind of like about. But anyway, this song is called "The Way Things Go." I'm not old, but I'm not as young as I used to be. Oh, 25 years old, and I feel the creaking seeping in my knees. Oh, everybody tells me it's okay. Everybody tells me it's the way these things go. Whoa, no, I ain't weak. I'm just not as strong as I used to be. Oh, and things get to me, and it hits so hard, and the rebound so slow. Everybody tells me it's okay. Everybody tells me it's the way these things go. Whoa. I ain't mad, I'm just a little more bitter than I used to be. Oh, and things ain't that bad, but I can't enjoy anything till 5 years pass. So everybody tells me it's okay. Everybody tells me it's the way these things go. Whoa, they try and tell you about this fit that I find myself tumbling down. They try and tell you that your job will suck and your friends will all leave town. And I thought I was special, I'd resist. I'm starting to realize that this is just the way things go. Whoa, no, I ain't tired. I'm just a little more weary than I used to be. Oh, the weight piles high, and I feel the pace in my steps begin to slow. Everybody tells me it's okay. Everybody tells me it's the way these things go. All right, so thank you so much for joining us tonight. We've got the comment section open on the YouTube, so get in there, and if you've got questions or comments at any point in the show, well, you can just write them right in there, and Kim will be watching them, and she will relay them to me, as she always does so wonderfully. And so make sure you get in there. And if you like the show, just tell somebody about it. That would be super cool. Okay, well now it is my pleasure to introduce my guest tonight. I first met him at, guess where, Millions Cafe open mic. Please welcome Casey Edward. What's up, Casey?
Hey, what's up, Brian?
Hey, man. I'm so glad you could be here.
It's like a common theme on your show.
I
man.
know, right? Yeah, it's the saddest thing. But maybe in my song that I just sang, maybe I did resist. Maybe I do have friends because of an open mic. So anyway,
That's right,
so how have you been, man? It's been interesting times lately.
Yeah. What I've been is fortunate. I've been able to stay healthy and continue working. My wife as well.
Oh,
so we're very fortunate, but also very busy.
Sure.
A lot of people have had it way worse than us. So
Yeah.
we just mask up and do our best. You know what I mean?
There you go, man. That's all you can do.
That's right.
So how about we kick things off with a song, man? So can you tell us a little bit about the song you're going to play and what it is, what it's called, what you think about it?
Well, it's a song, the first one I've been working on probably since the beginning. It's had a few iterations, some good, some bad, mostly no good. So it is. It's the lyrics have not changed.
Okay.
But it is aptly named "The Mess."
All right. So this is Casey Edward with "The Mess."
Took some time to take a look at myself. Take some of these dreams from this dusty shelf. It's been a while since I've been on my own. Guess I'll make it here all alone. 'Cause it's a mess, a mess, a mess. It's a mess, a mess, a mess. Well, I always had trouble seeing what's in front of me. I guess I've always been my worst enemy, and I'm just sorry that it took so long for me to see all this time I was wrong. 'Cause it's a mess, a mess, a mess. It's a mess, a mess, a mess, a mess. Well, I try to show just how much I've grown, and my words now are drone feed the seeds I've sown. 'Cause it's a mess, a mess, a mess. It's a mess, a mess, a mess. It's a mess, a mess, a mess. It's a mess, a mess, a mess, a mess. Well, I've always had trouble seeing what's in front of me.
All right. Thanks, Casey. That was great, man. That song is a little different from what I remember, I think.
What's that?
That song. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about the headphone thing.
I know we got some technical stuff.
Yeah, I know. But we make do on the basement.
That's right, man. West Side.
Yeah, right. Totally. West Side. So yeah, I just said that that song does sound different from the last time I heard it, I think.
Yeah, it used to be all yelly and bangy.
Yeah, I liked this shift. That was nice. So you mentioned that this was a song that you've kind of been writing since the beginning. What is the beginning for you? How did you get into this whole playing music and writing songs at the same time, different
Where's the
time?
beginning? The beginning, I guess, was Delshire Elementary School trumpet.
There you go. Okay, right. Yeah, that's Kim.
yeah, man.
Kim will give you a clap for that one.
Yeah, so it was trumpet, in and out of school until my freshman year of college. I love playing music. My big brother Sean was an influence. My grandmother certainly was an influence, Grandma Thompson, and my mom and dad pushed me real hard. And something happened in college. I kind of fell out of love with it. And yeah,
So
I walked away.
were you playing guitar throughout this time, or is this still
No,
just this
no,
is
it was
okay? Yeah,
just trumpet. Yeah, man, I loved, classical music and any sheet music they'd throw in front of me. I couldn't wait to try to play it. Sight reading day was probably my favorite day.
really?
Oh yeah, I loved to march. Marching was amazing.
No kidding.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
probably kept me out of jail.
it's
And then I
funny.
think that's what happened was in college. I just felt like they didn't take it as seriously. It was playtime,
Yeah, sure.
and I was, you've met me. I got a lot of passion, and I wanted to go out there and perform every Saturday at the football game.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's well, I started the pep band at Shawnee State University as a club.
nice.
I don't know why. It's how I met Kim, so I guess it wasn't a total loss. But yeah, it was definitely goof around time, and we were
Yeah,
terrible. And I we had a lot of turnover, probably for that reason. But
right.
I think it's interesting how many people. I think there's like two people that have been on the show that have like come to music. One like one type of person is like, I would just want to play guitar in middle school, and then the other
Right.
people are like, I was in band, and I'm definitely in the band category myself. So when
Nothing
does
wrong with that.
yeah? So when does the guitar come around then? When does the singing and the songwriting as we know it today? How does that come around?
Well, I drifted in college for a while. Found my sea legs, so to speak, in the world of English, um, and just started writing. I think honestly, it was just my replacement for the music. So it was writing everything, essays, creative writing, plays, whatever I could write. I was writing all the time. Um, and that went on, and it took me, a decade to graduate. But hey, I've never done anything on time.
Yeah.
But through those, I dated a girl in college whose her best friend had a boyfriend that was in a band. So I guess I'd be 21 or 22 at the time.
Okay.
And we go watch him, play, and I'm like, man, I'd love to do that. And I always said that I'd love to do that. That was kind of like, well, one of my downfalls. I have a lot of things I want to do, and I never just took the dive.
Yeah.
But it was always there. And then in 2010, I bought a guitar.
Oh wow. So
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
fairly recent, really.
yeah. I waited till I was 30. Don't wait till you're 30.
No, yeah, if you want to and you're 30, do it. There is I think that's a great
Yeah.
lesson though. Do it whenever you
If you're
want.
if
Like
you're
just
29 and you want to do it at 29. I missed those formative years. When you're an angsty teenager in your bedroom on Friday night with nothing to do, you're playing your
Yeah,
guitar.
right.
So
Well, I always tell people that I didn't drink beer in high school, and so by the
yeah,
time
me
that I
neither.
got to college, I had never really drank 40s. But I've well made up for that now, and I'm
Yeah,
really good at it.
yeah, man.
And it's a part of my life now, and so I think it's the same thing.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So what was it like then? Like what are you drawing on then? Because you're right, you don't have the angstiness to dwell upon. So What are your first kind of songs like? Where are you getting your inspiration from?
Hey, man, when you're 30, that's a long road. Some of us took longer roads than others, and I had plenty to draw from. Had some rough relationships, some good times. You just draw from your childhood, things that you remember, good times and bad. I mean, there's so much to draw from.
Yeah,
You
totally.
know.
I think I don't remember where this quote is from. I heard it recently. Oh God. Well, anyway, I'm just gonna say it anyway. Some songwriter said like anyone that's had a childhood has like enough to draw on. Like,
Yeah,
like
man,
enough
it's
stuff
hard to
for.
be a kid.
It is hard to be a kid, and it's. I actually think that might have been a better path because you probably saved yourself a lot of crappy songs
Oh,
during that
I have
time.
plenty of those. Don't you worry. So it's at least I had some of the training for the writing part of it.
Yeah,
But
so
even some of that, I've honestly just thrown a lot of those rules to the wind. Yeah, I just let it come out.
yeah,
Um,
I think it's cool that you have this writing background, and you also have this like classical music, trumpet, sheet music background, and it comes
right.
together in this new thing, which is it's a kind of like it's an odd path to get there, but I think that probably gives you a lot of advantages to draw from.
I don't have a lot of bad habits as a guitar player,
Yeah, oh yeah.
but I don't have a lot of good ones either. But I mean, like anything else, it's seat time. So, and of course, I have a kid now, another one on the way,
Yeah.
and time is thank you. Time is tight. The industry I'm in is on fire. So we just got to sneak it in Sunday afternoon on the back deck. I put a swing in a garage for the baby, and I'll sit down there and pluck away while she's
Nice.
swinging.
Oh yeah.
And you got to fit it in where I'm at. You got to fit it in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a rock star or anything, but this is an important part of my life, and I do like to share it when I can. And certainly a goal would be to get out and perform. I would do it for beer, but don't tell anybody that.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I know. That's me too. Like, I don't want to
I would play
devalue
for
the
coffee.
I don't want to
just like to
devalue the
play.
work of real musicians. But otherwise, yeah, I would. I have very
Yeah.
low standards. Look at this show. Kim, is there? I see you. You're giggling over there. Is there anything going on in the comment section that we should know about?
I was giggling about Jen's comments. You were talking about 40s, and she said you're not great at buzz balls.
Oh.
So she kind of threw you under the bus a little bit.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that topic. There's not.
I don't know what buzzball is.
Oh God, Casey, keep it that way.
You don't want to
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, great. Thank you for the comment, Jen. Okay. Well, Casey, I want to continue this thread and talk about your writing process and what gets you motivated and how you fit it in with all the different responsibilities you have. But I think it's time for another song right now. So what are you gonna play for us?
I'm gonna play a song. This one's about my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, this is newer. Some people may have heard it, some maybe not. I've played it now 3 times without crying. Let's see if I can do it again.
Wait, you don't have to. Not on the basement, man.
But this song is called Missing Piece.
All right, we got Missing Piece by Casey Edward here on Brian's Basement.
I've waited all of my life just to look in your eyes. And after all of this time, can't believe you're mine. Sure as the summer turns to fall, I'll always give you my all. Together we'll find all there is to be found. I love you more and more as the days they go on. I'm gonna love you still from the great beyond. Sure as the summer turns to fall, I'll always give you my all. Together we'll find all there is to be found. 'Cause you make my world go round. Yeah, you make my world go round. Go round and round. There's just one more thing you really need to know. You were the missing piece that made this a home. And I'll pick you up when you fall. I'll come running when you call. I'll be my best never to let you down. 'Cause you make my world go round. Yeah, you make my world go round. Go round and round. And upside down. Go round and round. And upside down. And I'll pick you up when you fall. I'll come running when you call. And I'll do my best never to let you down. 'Cause you make my world go round. Yeah, you make my world go round. Go round and round. And upside down. Go round and round. And upside down. Go round and round.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Casey. That was
Yeah, man.
that was beautiful, man. That's such a good gift that your daughter will always have. I think that's really cool. Um,
Yeah,
So-
that's kind of like where that came from.
yeah, yeah. So let's talk about like I want to get to the aspect of being a father with songwriting. But just to get the nuts and bolts out of the way, like what does your song process look like? Like how does a song go from an idea into your head, out onto the page and into the performance?
It's an interesting question because I mean I don't know if I have a good answer for it other than I mean sometimes you can just sit around and pick or strum or just mess around with some chords and then one moment you've got a progression and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you're like reaching for your iPhone or whatever you can try to record it with or write it down. That's really kind of where it starts. Like that song, that I was right in that chord. I had those chords figured out before she was born. And it was just something I'd play over and over and over. I couldn't get the words out. And I had a couple ideas. I was sitting in the truck on lunch break one day, and I bought this little small Gudin guitar so I could play it in my truck at lunch.
Oh, nice.
And I thought about what would I want to say if I was going to die tomorrow. What would I want to say to her today? Now, what kind of messed up thought is that, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, but
it triggered that song. I had that song written in 2 minutes.
Right. Yeah, that's really cool when that happens, because it seems like you can have an idea, and then it just needs one little spark to really take off into something. I personally try to keep a bunch of ideas rolling around in my head all the time for songs, and then it's like you said, I come up with a good progression. I'm like, oh, that makes me feel something, and then it usually takes just something to happen, and then the song just comes out. I think all the best ones come out like that.
Yeah, for sure. And only certain word combinations are going to work with the progression, strum pattern, or picking that you have. So you got to, it's just, I don't know if I would say it's serendipitous, but because there is work that goes into it. You have to write it out and think about it in your head. But I think, and I found throughout my life, writing anything from, my senior thesis to whatever, it comes from somewhere in there.
Yeah, and I think that I've heard that, and I do believe this, that constraints are a huge motivating factor for creativity. So when you come up with a progression, you have that rhythm, and you have how many words can fit per bar. And I think that, and when you combine that with an idea, and then that spark, and then something just comes out that's completely greater than the sum of all three of those parts.
It's something. It happens a lot. They come together very much that way. But through all the training for writing, it was always write every day. Doesn't matter what you write down, even if you just write down what you did that day, right? And I don't do that. I need to do that. I should do that. But I notice when I take the time on a lunch break, or if I get a quiet minute and write, things do come along a little quickly. But I'm often in a dry spell because I can't turn off the noise. I'm not as good at that as I used to be. But I asked Rocky Votolato one time how he gets out of block or a spell, and he says just do it somewhere else. Go somewhere that you never play guitar or write, and try it. He's like, it'll come to you, and it does work.
Oh, that's
go
a cool. That's a cool
go to a
tip.
bar. I mean, I used to try to write at open mics with all the noise, and just because it was a different place, and you could get a few things down. But I mean, I didn't write a song there, but it was just a different atmosphere. A change of scenery is what he was getting at, and it does work.
Yeah, or seeing someone else, I think, does that too. So speaking of Rocky, I know you're a big, you're a friend of his and a big supporter of his. And has there what's it like knowing him, and how did that relationship come to be?
Well, I mean, it was just pure luck. I mean, we're not best friends or anything, but we do occasionally speak. He's just a nice guy. He's answered any question I've ever had. But I was following him and it's online, and it said Rocky wants to do a living room show. If you're interested, shoot us some pictures and your address, and we sent it in for my brother Sean's house, and we're lucky enough to get selected. And it was an amazing thing. It was unlike anything. I could probably speak for him and say it was unlike anything we've ever experienced. To be up close and have that kind of access to someone who's traveled the world, doing what you only dream you could do, it was just remarkable. I was beyond starstruck. I
Yeah.
mean, it was pretty remarkable. So, but that the small interactions that I've had with him have been um, certainly very helpful.
So,
It doesn't
uh,
hurt that he makes great music.
yeah, right. Yeah, totally.
You know,
Yeah, that's really cool to know someone that you admire
right?
for their craft. That's a great resource. So how let's talk about what it's like. How has being a father changed your perspective? And you mentioned earlier just in the show that like songwriting is an important thing, and it sounds like between just that Sunday afternoon in the garage or in the guitar or in the truck playing that little guitar in your lunch break, it sounds like you're just trying to squeeze it in whatever you can. So can you explain the importance of songwriting in your life personally? Like why do this? Why do you do this?
I think it's in there and it's got to come out. Um, I guess I could just write. I used to write and that was good. Um, but this is better. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It's just something to, because I still have to do the writing part, and I sit down with a pencil and a piece of paper and get after it. But then you get a whole other tool. I mean, this thing is, I do not put this to its potential for what it can do, but just to take a few words that I write on a page and the sound that I can get out of it, I mean, it just amplifies the experience, and then I make something that lasts forever.
Right.
And I think, I'm only 40. I just turned 40 last year. Thank you. And like I said, I'm doing everything late. I'm having babies late. Everything's a little late, but I'm not going to be around forever. So I just want to leave something for my kids and whatever.
Yeah,
I
like,
don't know how to put that other than being it's such a cliche answer, but it's true.
yeah, no. Like what do you want? What do you want your maybe this is going like way into the deep end for Brian's basement, but like what do you want your songs to say? Like what do you want people to like hear the songs and think when they listen to Casey's songs?
I just want them to know that they're not alone, because there's somebody that's felt what I feel. I mean, that's how it works for me with the music I listen to, right?
Yeah, sure.
I've been there. I get it. If one of the greatest songs for me is Hands Down by Dashboard Confessional. The way I feel when I listen to that song, if I can make one person feel like that with my music, then my job's done.
Right.
I mean, and I'm sure somebody's listening. I've had plenty of people come up and say stuff. I've had people ask me who wrote my originals at open mics and stuff. So
Oh, nice.
I know people have felt something, and it's art for art's sake, right? I mean,
Yeah.
isn't that the point of art? But
Yeah, I mean,
and you just get it out, leave a piece of yourself. Maybe somebody needs to hear it.
yeah, I think
And a
that
lot of it is like introspective for yourself. I mean, you have to face some of that crap that's in you and get it out, let the demons out.
I agree with all of that stuff wholeheartedly. As a former open mic host, I still believe that I'm almost all about like just go make something. Like it doesn't even really have to be good. Just the act of making something is worthwhile
Yeah.
because of what you're saying. It makes you think about things. It makes you think about what your relationship with the rest of the world, but also what you said about maybe one person needs to hear that. Like I think that's a great sentiment and a great way to stay focused on why we're doing this and the right thing. I've been thinking lately with all the stuff that's going on that you know um, maybe crappy songs that local songwriters write. It's empathy building, and I think that there's a void of that in the world.
You know what the mask that we're supposed to wear is a symbol of, right? Is empathy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
It is
exactly.
the embodiment of empathy, and we lack empathy in this country, and I think that's part of the reason why people don't wear it.
Yeah,
But
I would think so too.
I mean, I think artists play a role in empathy. We're drawing on our most fragile strings and memories and feelings, and we're standing up on stage in front of complete strangers and just letting it rip. There's something to that part of it too, that performance aspect, that I'm a complete stranger and I'm telling you about my life. So there's, it's very, no matter what setting, it's still intimate, even if you're playing a Coliseum. Then it's
Right.
even maybe more intimate because there's 10,000 people there.
Right. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
And you're drawing commonalities out of people.
Yeah.
It's but like even like you said, like in the arena, when everybody's singing "Let It Be" that Paul McCartney's playing, like
Could you imagine what that would be like?
Oh man, dude, that would.
Could you
be...
imagine singing a song, and then just you don't even have to sing it because the whole crowd's singing it?
Can you imagine writing a song as good as "Let It Be"? Like, wow.
I would love to.
Yeah.
That's why we write, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We should.
You never know.
Can be a hobby, but it should still come with goals.
Yeah. On this podcast, I listened to "Working Songwriter" by Joe Pug. Shout out. He always says that like, you never know. Like, you could write the greatest song. Like, it's not like physically impossible. Like you can, like, anyone can play great songs. You might strike lightning or gold or whatever you strike to be lucky, but you never know. So it's worth trying, right?
Yeah, for
and if
sure.
you're having fun along the way, hell, yeah, it's even better. So what would you say is the best advice you've ever gotten in regards to songwriting, performing, or playing your instrument, or anything related to all this? Like, is there one piece of advice that you kind of go back to get you right-minded?
Well, I got one, probably one for each category.
Yeah,
there.
do it.
The first one, of course, is write every day. I mean, if you're gonna write, you need to write every day, and I agree with that. And I'm not very good at that. I'll be honest, and that's by choice. I haven't made the time. The performance would have to be a quote from yours truly, or ours truly, Jordan. Frankly speaking.
Oh yeah. Former guest of the show.
Just get up on stage and fucking play your song.
Yeah. When did that come out? When did you say that?
That was my first open mic experience. The first time I ever played on stage was at Millions, and Bernardo and I went up, and we didn't even take our guitars. We were just scouting it out. We were both a little nervous, and we got there, and Jordan made me play his guitar. Get up on stage and play your fucking songs.
That's amazing. That's great.
So it's kind of his fault, this whole thing, because that little bit of a rush, I fell in love with it with all 8 people that were watching.
I want just
my legs were shaking, my hands were shaking. It was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I remember that, man.
Get up and play an original, and then have people clap like, wow, okay, cool. But then it's just the instrumentation part. I mean, it goes back to Larry Welsh and my brother Sean. Perfect practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
So if you can just noodle around, but have intent when you pick up your guitar, have an intent to, even if you're just going to pick on it for a little bit, have a little goal and do it right. And I've been working on that. And the last song I'm going to play today is sort of a proof that works. Move forward a little bit, but those are the 3 pieces I got. I mean, write, get up there and play a song, and just when you have a goal in mind, when you play with purpose.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Even when
man.
you practice.
I love it, man. That's great. Those are all great, and they all seem so simple. But writing every day is really hard. Practicing is even harder. For me at least.
I mean, you wake up and you take the dog for a run in the morning, and then you come inside and you're getting your kid ready, and then it's time to get to work, and it just you got time there is time there. There is time, I promise.
Yeah.
But you just gotta just shuffle a little, even if it's 10 minutes, right? I mean, 10 minutes is nothing.
Well, it's
It
something.
seems like a lot, but
yeah, it's something to strive for, and that's good too.
yeah, for sure.
All right, man. How about we've just been yakking along here. How about
Yeah, man.
how about song number 3, man? What
right.
are you gonna play for us?
I'm gonna play. This was like the toughest, easiest song I've ever written. Tough because I had to like really take a look inside myself. I've got a lot of love songs, a lot of breakup tunes and stuff like that, and it, you're always the heartbroken protagonist. And I could write that about certain things for sure, but there are situations where perhaps that is skewed a bit. So I had to look at myself as the villain, as I was once, to write this song, and it was a good exercise in humility and empathy, because I had to look across the river, so to speak, and see what I'd done. So this song's called "Your Lies."
All right.
And this is also a little different take than I usually do on it.
All right, man.
Said that I was the one. Best thing that you'd ever done. You waited so long for me, so good you couldn't believe. The weeks they came and they went, the happiest I'd ever been. Then you started to fade. Your love began to wane. And I should have seen it from the start. You went after my heart, and I couldn't help but get lost in your eyes. Now all that's left is your lies, your lies. When you just couldn't let go. She's all that you come to know. You didn't know what to say. A prisoner of yesterday. And what does she do that I don't? And what will she do that I won't? I gave it all to you. I don't care if you're ever blue, 'cause I should have seen it from the start. You went after my heart, and I couldn't help but get lost in your eyes. Now all that's left is your lies, your lies.
Hell yeah, man. That was awesome. I love the ending on that.
Yeah, it used to be hard charging all the way
That's
through,
what
but I
I
kind of
thought.
dig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it, man. I really like that added little change to it. That's great, man. So let's
If I close with that, I hit it hard the whole way
yeah.
through.
Okay. Yeah. If you're getting rowdy, if the crowd's feeling it, totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Or if nobody's paying attention at darkness, that's a good one.
Yeah, man. So this is so first of all, just a reminder, if any of you out there in the comments, you got something to say, got something on your mind, you got a question for me or Casey or Kim or anybody, throw it in that comment section. See what happens. You never know. This is the
If
part.
there's no comments, it just means we're being too thorough.
Oh yeah, that's what I tell myself.
Yeah.
This is the point in the show, Casey, where we usually do a segment called props, where I come up with a prop and I show it to the camera. But in this case, you have a way cooler prop.
Yeah.
Would you like to show us your autograph guitar?
Yeah, my autograph guitar.
Yeah, it's a good segue into what we're about to talk about. But I think this thing is super cool. So who's all on there? What's going on with this guitar?
So my iPad's kind of far away.
That's okay. They can imagine. People can imagine most of it. Yeah.
We'll make it work. So this is my let's see how we got to do this. This is my Hearth Sessions guitar. So anybody that's played a Hearth Session has signed it. So right there, like that's Jared Mahone. And that's Jim and Sam. And then like the whole Miles Nielsen and the Rusted Hearts kind of signed it sort of all over the place. It's kind of weird to do this because it's in reverse.
Yeah.
There we go. That's a little better. So yeah. Then there's somebody on here that we all might know right here.
Yep. Yeah, I played did one of
course,
those with Jared
Rocky
Mahone.
was the OG.
Yeah, oh really? Yeah. Yeah, let's see.
So yeah.
So why don't you can you tell us a little about other than writing songs and performing and playing songs, you also have this like promoter type flavor to you that I was reflecting on when I was coming with these questions. All these different things that you do, and one of the things is the Hearth Sessions. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, that's it's a little venture that spawned from Rocky Votolato coming and playing. My brother and I enjoyed that experience so much that we kind of made a thing out of it. His house, of course, being able to hold capacity was always the home venue for that, for which everyone is grateful, and I'm sure he knows that. But rather than try to make money at it, we decided that it would be a platform to allow people to promote their music. And we would just pass a hat around and the artist gets...
Oh, we lost him. Am I still on? Okay. Yeah. Is he still talking? Okay. Hello, Casey, you still there? Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Oh, you're
Hello?
back. Okay, I was just about to call you on the phone.
I've lost power. Hang on a second.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? This is a great time. I haven't had to do this the entire time. But I made this at the beginning of the show, and it's all worn out now. But it's my technical difficulties side. Oh, okay, I can hear you now. Oh, good. That was short. I haven't had to use
it up to me.
Way to go, Casey. Made me use my sign. Okay.
That's cool. At least you had a reason.
Yeah. I mean, I drew that. I drew that in March, and I put a lot of time into that. So, anyway, where you left off was it was a platform to promote music, and it was all past the hat, and not trying to make money off of it.
Yeah, pass the hat and get to see some amazing artists, up close and personal. And as Jared Mahone was the guy you opened for.
Yes.
He's an amazing singer-songwriter out of Columbus. But he pulled us aside after the last show and was just like, he just thought it was great. It's called the Hearth Sessions because it's in front of the fireplace, or the hearth, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, it's like the old days. That's where people told stories. And I can honestly say I never thought of that. that is where people used to tell stories. It was around the hearth, and that's what we do. We're storytellers. All my favorite songs and artists are storytellers. And Jared Mahone is a hell of a storyteller, just like you. It was a great pairing. It was like getting a history lesson about Ohio.
Yeah, that was one of the. That was a really cool experience, and the sound quality is top notch. And one of the few videos on YouTube that's of me that isn't on my channel is on the Hearth Sessions, and it's one of the best sounding too. My
brother Sean does good work.
Yeah, Sean's
there's no doubt about it.
I saw Sean in the comment sections. Hi, Sean.
He's a wizard.
Yeah, thanks for watching and being a part of that whole process too. Obviously Hearth Sessions not happening right now. But is it still going to happen in the future after all this?
Well, Sean and I talked about it, and it certainly it's a passion, but safety is more important than anything.
Totally.
So we'll just call it a hiatus for now.
Yeah, sure.
The dog's not happy.
Yay.
So
yeah,
that's maybe we can figure something out down the road. But for right now, it's just enjoy the videos that are up, and we're thinking about you.
yeah, go check them out. They have their own YouTube channel. You know what? I'll post those in the description after the show.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think just with the Hearth, it's just that you're going to have a room full of people, whether it's 15 or 50, and everybody's there for one reason. And they listen to you. You don't have somebody with a cell phone. Nobody's talking. And it's just quiet, and you can relax and listen. And it's just I've never experienced anything like it. And we're just happy to share it.
Yeah, it was a really, really cool experience when I got to do it. It's strange in that sense that there's people. You can have a whole bar. You can have a whole bar. You can have a whole bar, and getting 5 people to listen to you is crazy. And there's so having the 20 people or whatever really tuned
just
in,
staring at you.
Yeah, it's like, oh god. But you know what? When I looked at the video that I did, I was like, I was like hitting on something pretty good there, because usually I don't play that well or sing that well. So
good energy, man.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good. So another thing that you do that I've been involved with in the past is the longest day.
Longest day.
Yeah, which is an Alzheimer's research day. And a lot of people do a lot of different things, like walking or doing different kind of physical challenges and things like that. So can you tell us what you all do for Longest Day?
So, my brother and I, we used to run 5Ks and get involved that way. And Sean was trying to think of a way. I think his wife, Amy's sister, worked for the Alzheimer's Association. And ENDALS is what the hashtag there. And he was trying to think of a way, and he asked me, well, should we run or do something? And I'm like, I don't know. And then he had this idea to jam all day.
Yeah.
Literally from sun up to sundown, on the longest day, which is the summer solstice, we would gather in his garage in 98-degree heat, and we would play and sing from sun up to sundown.
Right.
So after like the first 2 years of this, and our buddy John, he always sang lead, so his poor voice was hurting and everybody was hurting. So my brother had the idea of, let's get some other people in here. So we would do individual sets and everybody signs up and you just promote it and try to, raise some money for an amazing cause. They're one of the few foundations that give, a lot of money you earn to the actual people that need it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I did it a couple years ago. It's weird. It always happens. It always happens on the same day, but I'm always like out of town during it.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun. And you guys had the tent set up and like a little stage in the garage and the kegerator going and everything. It was a great time. And I remembered like everyone there was so generous, and it was with the same kind of, everyone like listened a lot, but it was like but everyone was like really enthusiastic about it, and a lot of people that we know were all there. It was a really good time. I'm going to do it as soon as I can, so hopefully next year. Well, it's June 21st, right?
Well, yeah, the 20th, June 20th.
June 20th. Okay.
Yeah, and that's we couldn't do it this year for obvious reasons.
Yes,
so
obviously.
I mean, everything depends on the virus. But some of us, we did some individual online shows. Like Joe Atkinson and Adam Minnick both did a set, and I did a set, and we raised some money and some awareness. And yeah, it's just one more thing. I think they're getting closer and closer on Alzheimer's. We've had some relatives that developed it and died from it. It's just near and dear to our hearts, and it gave us a reason to come together. And I mean, because we had our little End Sessions group, and we would play for months on the weekend, just get together and jam. So it was awesome.
Yeah, I think it's cool because
just to get ready.
Yeah, it's cool because, like you said, it's a time to get together. It's for a good cause, and it's to use this thing that we do, that we feel useless in doing 90% of the time, and then it actually matters for like one day a year.
One day.
It's also cool because it's just at your house, like it's just hanging out at the house.
Place. Safe, man. It's all about safe. It's a safe space.
Yeah, and so it's nice because it's just anyone can do it, anyone can join up, anyone should do it. I think that's super cool.
And no one's judging you while you're there.
Yeah,
They're just happy to see you.
Yeah.
I'm just glad you're there.
Yeah, right. You just then again, like as a longtime open mic host, I understand that sentiment completely. So I want to talk about. I kind of want to just last kind of question here. I just want to talk about what like. So I've been thinking about this a lot with all these crazy things happening in the world right now. And it's like I just said, like it seems very useless and it seems very kind of not practical thing to do to write songs, but in an increasingly loud and polarized and kind of confusing place. Like, what do you think, like, what is the purpose of the local songwriter? What is the purpose of the everyday songwriter guy that's writing songs?
Escapism. Bring hope, a little distraction, teach empathy, through verse. I think that's the role of artists, is to make people think, and you got to think through times like this. You can't just be all the time emotional, which is where a lot of us are, myself included.
Yep.
You just turn a TV on or the news for 5 minutes, and I get upset. I'm sure other people do too. But to sit down and give people something good to focus on. And if you're out there writing songs and making music, I mean, for instance, I was sat down last Thursday. Just happened to flick on Facebook, and Blind Pilots lead singer Israel was playing a solo show. I mean, it was like, it was so amazing to sit down for 40 minutes and listen to him. Everything went away. I wasn't angry. I was just in a good place and then inspired. I went and plugged in to my little quiet rig that I have while the baby sleeps, and I play guitar for an hour after that on a Thursday night, which usually doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So it's there for a reason, man. It's just to have that 40 minutes completely reset my brain from all the stress of the day. That's the role, kind of help us remember who we are, what we're doing.
Yeah, it's interesting because you phrased that as I think the term that came up was distraction, but
Yeah.
it's almost like maybe a distraction from all the bullshit. But it's like you said, it's a
distraction to jumpstart your brain again, to do some thinking of its own or feeling of its own.
Yeah,
give you a little direction.
Right, like to focus on, like you said, the things that make people human. So it is like it's a distraction in the sense from all the noise and the bullshit out there, but it's also a way to if you're writing or if you're listening and just appreciating, or if you're painting, or if you're working out at the gym, whatever the hell you're doing, it's a time to get back to like your normal brain space. I feel like our brains are on fire right now, and I think
without a doubt.
Yeah, and if you take that time to do whatever it is you want to do, if you want to cook a great meal or whatever, if you want to brew a beer, whatever the hell you want to do, I think all of that is, I think that's really important, and I think that's a great answer to that question, Casey.
Well, I think too. I'll admit it. I'm a little. I'm scared. That's the right word.
Yeah, sure.
Call it nervous or uneasy, but it's fear.
Yeah.
And then when you're afraid all the time, it messes with you. You make bad decisions, and you can kind of paint yourself into a corner. So you have to remember that you're still alive, and that bad thing. And it kind of gets you out of that. A good song will pull you out of that. Get you out worrying about the microscopic organism that could infect you. And if it's for 10 minutes of well-being, then it was worth watching that or listening to that song. And I think that's the role it plays right now.
Absolutely, man. That's a great answer. So we've got one more song, fourth song. So what are you gonna play for us?
This song is called Two Boys. It's my latest song. I wrote it about my mother, but it's kind of for my mother and all the other single parents that get the job done.
All right, this is Two Boys, Casey Edward on Brian's Basement.
A single mother, two boys, a mortgage, skin knees and worn out shoes. The weight of the world is on her shoulders, not sure what to do. With a heavy hand and a heavy heart, she kept those boys in line. Said work hard and stay out of trouble, make a better life than mine. didn't go the way they said it would be. Be thankful for the days you get to see. You gotta afford your own way home. Sometimes you gotta do it on your own. Those boys moved on and found wives of their own, and they had a messy girl, lighter hand and a softer heart. She made them her whole world. Didn't go the way they said it would be. Be thankful for the days you get to see. You gotta afford your own way home. Sometimes you gotta do it on your own.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Casey. That was beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your songs and some of your insights. Before you go, do you have any announcements, shout outs, plugs, any
I
thoughts,
wish.
closing thoughts?
I don't have any plugs.
Nobody
you know,
does.
just gonna keep going forward. You can find me on Facebook. I'm gonna do some live stuff once in a while.
Okay.
I'm working on a few things, but we got some stuff going on. Plus, the climate that we're in is a little difficult.
Sure.
I miss open mic. I miss seeing people. But that time's gonna come again.
Totally.
And I'll be ready. Maybe I'll be a little better by then. I'll be a better player and singer, hopefully.
Yeah,
But I
man.
appreciate you having me on tonight, man.
Oh,
This was a lot of fun.
yeah.
And I hope people that watch it enjoy it.
Oh yeah, man.
And keep your spirits up out there, and please wear your masks.
There you go. I mean, that's
right.
what better way to end
Yeah.
on that. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much, Casey. If you can just stay on the line, and then
got it.
I'll let you know after the music's over, and then we'll chat a little bit afterwards. Okay, sound good?
Perfect.
All right.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Casey. All right. Well, and thank you to everybody out there that's tuned in tonight and has tuned in the past, and may continue to tune in the future. I really appreciate that, and I hope you're enjoying it, and because I missed doing the interview week. For the past 3 weeks I've been doing different things, some writing centric things. So it's very nice to chat again. So I hope you enjoyed it too. And also I always like to thank Kim, my producer of sorts, and again to Casey for coming on the show. So I'm going to close the show with a song of my own. Casey played a new song, so I'm going to play a new song too. This song is aptly titled The Basement. You know what, though? Before I do that, I'm going to tune my instrument because I care. All right. Come speak to me a while in the basement. Come creeping down the creaky wooden stairs. Let your eyes adjust to the newfound dimness. Fill your lungs with the cool and musty air. And it's comforting at first, the quiet and the dark. But my presence is unnerving and strange. Well, you didn't plan to stay long, but I cannot let you leave. Don't go upstairs, stay down here with me. This is the dominion of your childhood imagination, where you and your siblings used to romp and play. Down here you don't have to worry about breaking things, 'cause everything is broken in some way. And I remind you that I didn't always sit here. Oh, my throne was just the old couches from upstairs. And you find that you're forgetting the times before we'd meet. Don't go upstairs, stay down here with me. We've got the old TV and the old video games. You can read the books on the shelf you've already read. We get a few AM stations down here clearly, but it's better than listening to the voices in your head. But distraction turns to mindless consumption. I've got a skipping record we can listen to for hours. Embrace the numbing feeling, I think it's just the thing you need. Don't go upstairs, stay down here with me. Up there you've got murders with broken badges. You've got their accomplices beating the shit out of peaceful folk. And you've got 100,000 people coughing to death, while keyboard jockeys claim that it's a hoax. And I'll whisper the words of cruel and thoughtless people. We can board up the windows that let a little light in. And you'll argue for compassion, I'll convince you of defeat. Don't go upstairs, stay down here with me. and we'll contemplate the morality of fences and compare ourselves to broken old machines. We'll sip beers that leave us worse off than they used to, and contemplate on what it all means. And your words will echo off bare concrete walls, and they'll settle into nothingness with the dust on the floor. And I'm mocking you and laughing. You know I'm not unique. Don't go upstairs, stay down here with me. And you shout you find our conversation tiring, and you stagger to the stairs in empty shell. Oh, you're a little more broken after every time we speak. Don't go upstairs, stay down here with me. All right, well, again, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week with either another interview or some other shenanigans, I don't know. So until then, have a great week and try to stay safe and enjoy yourselves. Bye!